Everyone has a story. And I understand how some people are angry. And I am so sorry. And I'm going to tell my story. But first, I want you to understand. All of the pent up aggravation. Let's just say last year was a living nightmare. When somebody's stalking you, harassing you, taunting you, threatening you, blackmailing you, at what point is it okay for you to say enough is enough and fight back? I want you to know none of this was done to hurt anyone. It was simply making a point that all of us do have a past. And some of those things in our past is why we are today who we are. I was raped. I was molested. I've been in domestic abusive relationships, male and female. I have children. Yes, my children lived with Jacqueline and I both for a couple of years. So we had problems with their dad wanting custody, and I wasn't about to tackle that fight. At that time, 20-something years ago, being gay and having kids, especially in a custody fight, I was terrified that they were going to award him custody. And I would much rather my kids be with my mom where I could see them. I know they're safe. I know that they are taken care of, than to let that monster anywhere near my kids. Then, yes, when my dad got sick and was dying from prostate cancer, my dad had the main income for years with his own business. And it was a scary thing to know that when he was gone, what was going to happen financially. So I allowed my mom and dad to adopt my children to where whenever my father died, it wasn't such a financial burden on my mom to have to worry about how is she going to take care of things, how is she going to pay the house payment, how is she going to do this. And I helped out financially with the kids and giving her money. I wasn't court ordered to pay child support or anything, but we helped out. Jacqueline and I both for years paid child support and helped her with them. Anything they needed. I got to go to birthdays. It was not anything different. They came and spent the night with us. They came and stayed with us. We lived in the same town that we lived in. When you have to make choices, sometimes you live with those choices. And I stand behind my choices because I wanted to make sure that my kids were well taken care of when my dad died. My mom was well taken care of when my dad died. My brother, who is disabled, is well taken care of when my dad died. I got to see my kids. I got to do everything a parent would do. I made choices. And at that time, I thought I was making the best choices for them and for their benefit, for stability. I have a criminal record. Yes, I do. My criminal record, there is multiple things on there, but let me tell you about the main ones. I was with some friends. I was 18 years old. They decided it would be fun to rob somebody. Yeah. I got 5 years of adjudicated. And do I have an aggravated assault? A couple of them. On my record, yes. Yes, I do. In that fight that I told you with the kids' dad, in that custody fight, I was at work. One day he called me at work. He had picked them up at daycare, called me at work, told me, "Don't worry about the kids. You'll never see them again." I found out through his insurance agent, which I was friends with, his address, and I went over there, and needless to say, I got the kids back, but I also had a charge with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on my record. Would I do it again? Yes, I would. I love my children. You can ask them today, did I make choices that, and I've talked to them and I've explained stuff. The molestation was my dad and a cousin of mine. Do I remember details? No, because I'm sure I block a lot of that stuff out. The rape was when I was 16. It was a friend of the family. He was older, but yeah. The abuse, the domestic abuse, I have been beaten. I've been hit. I've been punched so hard that I fractured my skull. Right here on my forehead, there's a knot. My eyes were swollen shut. They were black and blue. So I do understand. But it's also not okay to stalk somebody for months and months and months. To scare them. To threaten them. Especially since I had tried to commit suicide. And I did try to hurt her. I wasn't myself that day. Somebody that I trusted and loved for so many years. It broke my heart. The anger. I got help. I was in the hospital. I was on life support. But while I was in the hospital, that was a new chance for me. I realized what I had done to her, the controlling behaviors that I exhibited for years and how I treated her. I loved her. I don't want to treat Jack like that. So, I made those changes and I started changing. And I journaled religiously. I still journal. I got on TikTok. I seen therapists. We went to counseling together. I started meditating. I wanted to change. And I did. But with everything that had happened, she seen the changes starting, and we started really getting better. She told me everything that had been happening to her. As much as she thought I could handle. And how dare you hold my suicide and my anger that day toward her as a tool to keep her in your control and to keep her close. She tried so repeatedly to get away from you. But you would call. You would work your way back in with your little manipulations. Then you have your other one that was calling and taunting her because obviously you were seeing each other or had seen each other. I don't know what the whole situation. I don't care. But she was mentally, physically, emotionally distraught. And yes, when we had the chance to tell our story, to tell her story, we harbored so much frustration and anger and I hate to say hatred, but yes, you can only play with somebody's mind and their emotions for so long before they just get tired of it and they start fighting back. There may have been some things said that shouldn't have been, but how much could you handle? Honestly. To the point that you felt like you just didn't want to be here on this earth anymore. Y'all had her suicidal, and she had to go to the hospital. And I'm glad she got help, because now, today, she's getting stronger. Emotionally, mentally, physically. She is getting stronger, and she's getting her back. She lost her because of you. And it won't. And yes, she did plenty wrong. Plenty of lying, plenty of everything. But we weren't together. We were trying to work on us and being friends again. But you played on that. You played on everything you thought you could exploit. Never again. We're healing. She apologizes to me every day. She feels so bad and so hates herself for what she did to every person on this app. She's not that person. She's not vindictive and hateful, and she is a loving, kind-hearted, God-fearing person who would do anything to help anybody. And when people started getting hurt because of her actions, she could not take it anymore. We had to find out how we could get this to just be over. But telling her story was to help her, and hope to God help someone out there that this may be happening to. Give them the strength to help them fight back and say, no, you will not do me like this. So please understand, we didn't want anybody else to be hurt. And when people started getting hurt, she felt like it was her fault. So, yes, we all have survived trauma, abuses, and things that could have killed us in our lifetime. But the way we deal with it as adults has a lot of reasons and of why we act the way we do, why we treat people the way we do, and psychologically who we are. We can't let us be hateful. I just hope everyone on here understands that that's not who we are, who I am. I am kind, I am loving, but I could not stand by and listen to them smear her name, her reputation, her character were all in question. Yeah, she lied to some people. She apologized multiple times. These people have taken things to an extreme that it should have never been taken. Yeah, did we feel like we had to fight back? Fire with fire? Maybe that was a mistake on our part. But we ask that everyone on TikTok that has been affected by this, find it in your heart to forgive. I will never do anything like this again. I'm sorry. I know she's sorry. She's sorry every day. She's sorry for the people that got hurt, the collateral damage of people that they have brought into this unnecessarily. She's in tears some days because she just is tired and exhausted emotionally. We pray every morning and every night together. And I've asked God for forgiveness. She has well. We ask for you. We've had people that we cared so much about that have turned against us, and nothing could hurt more than that. I love you. You have a good night.